All right. Hello, everybody. We are up. We are up. All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Dark Council podcast. Once again, we are here to discuss the glorious things that entail the happenings, the many vehicles, events, characters from a galaxy far, far away. The Star Wars Lore podcast with me, the freelancer, and Jake.
Yo, back again.
And he is not dying this time.
My voice is back, indeed.
Yep. So, we revealed it last time that this week's episode, we're here to discuss the Empire's signature line of fighter craft and their pilots thereof. So, I know you've probably got a fair bit. You never play. I think we talked about this at one point. You never played TIE Fighter, did you? You never played
No.
like TIE Fighter X-Wing versus TIE Fighter.
No.
Okay, so there's going to be a fair few of these that if you don't recognize them from Empire at War, you're probably not going to recognize most of these.
Hey, that's
Luckily,
fine.
Luckily, I'll have images to share with you, so not going to change much.
Perfect.
But we are going to go ahead and dive right on into it. So, this is basically a two-segment bit. We're going to talk about the pilots and the Imperial Starfighter Corps first, and then we're going to get into TIE Fighters and their various variants. I'm not going to dive too much into specifics of TIE Fighters, but we'll discuss the ones of note when I show them off, because I've got a list of... I have produced a list of ones to basically show off, and there's some stupid ones. And
Hell yeah! Oh, those are my favorites.
There's some of these that are so stupid, but there's some of these that are so cool.
Oh, I love stupid designs. Oh, gimme.
So, we are going to get through the pilots themselves and the Starfighter Corps. So, let's go ahead with them. For summary on the Imperial pilots, the pilots of the Imperial Starfighter Corps, they are one of the many distinguished forces of the Galactic Empire, and they are known to have served in one of the most deadliest roles the Empire could have put them in, especially given the craft they were given, which some notes of that we will touch on, but for both Legends and canon continuity, these black-armored individuals would be recognized as the famous pilots for the Imperial TIE Fighter line, developed in large part by the infamous Sinar fleet systems. These men and women, whom the Rebel Alliance would refer to among the many helmed faceless forces of the Empire as Bucketheads, did in fact have their own nicknames amongst the rank and file of the Empire. For those who operated in orbital deployments, they would earn the name Vacheads, most notably because of the vacuum-tubed life support system that their armor came equipped with.
That is an unfortunate name. That name sucks. What a bad nickname.
Well, here's the other ones. For those that actually served on ground-based deployment, such as outposts and ground support teams, they had earned the name of Groundhogs.
That's also a bad name.
But the one I think that nobody really gives them, that I think is more common amongst the fan community, is coffin jockeys.
That's a good one. That's a good nickname.
Because effectively they are basically flying a coffin with wings.
Yeah, those things are so fragile.
And there is a reason which we are going to touch on. So, bit of the history revolving around the pilots' the Imperial pilots' origins. So, obviously, we know that the Empire started out using mostly clones. But most of the actual pilots that actually served in the Starfighter Corps actually were consisted among the first generation of Jango Fett clones. A good portion of the Empire Starfighter Corps actually consisted of first-gen Jango Fett clones.
Nice. First gen, that's wild.
Yeah, no, we are talking like the first batches of clone pilots were the first batches of Imperial pilots. That's wild to think about.
It's crazy to think that the Clone Wars happened like 20 years. Not even 20 years.
It was
before A New Hope.
It was 22 years, actually.
Yeah, that is insane.
Mm-hmm. But due to the Empire's doctrine and mindset of the clones and their expendable nature in the Empire's eyes, the TIE Fighter was built with that exact purpose in mind. They built an expendable craft for their expendable soldiers.
Well, yeah.
And so the TIE Fighter's design was built with a lack of combat protection for this exact purpose.
I would assume it was more because they didn't want to spend the money.
There is a part of it in there that definitely plays a part, but originally that was the core ideal. That was actually the core ideal behind the TIE Fighter's design, was that it was meant to be a just throwaway craft because the clones were meant to be expendable.
Yeah, but if you run out of clones, you can't just build more clones.
No,
you have
because
to grow them.
No, because remember, we had transitioned to conscripted soldiers.
But the clones were trained better than the conscripted soldiers.
We know that.
Why would you make the clone ones be like, oh no, we can lose those dudes, it's fine. They're only the best trained soldiers we have.
Look, the Empire made a lot of poor decisions. 2 Death Stars is definitely 2 Death Stars that failed should have been the hallmark for them to just stop.
Oh my god. The fact that the first one failed, they're like, what if we just made it bigger though?
What if we made it bigger? And if we just and not only do we make it bigger, we repurpose the weapon from the old one.
God damn it.
Because they didn't even make a whole new weapon system. They just went straight back to Yavin and pulled the weapon firing mechanism and floated it off to Endor.
Oh my god, it's bad.
Technically,
it's bad,
they floated it. Technically, they floated it to the Maul first. Then they moved it to Endor.
I like how they had to probably actually physically move it, because you can't just strap a hyperdrive to a big gun. You can, but they probably didn't do that.
They used, I think, I think they actually used an array of bulk freighters to move it.
Okay.
I think they either used an array of bulk freighters or they actually had Star Destroyers moving that thing.
That's insane.
But another part, early on, one actual pilot, Shay Hublin, would actually be among the first to actually make note of the TIE Fighter's lack of viability in survivability. Due to the rapidly phasing out clone pilots, he proposed the offer to Shay Hublin had proposed the idea of vouching for more protection for the TIE Fighters and the Imperial pilots. I want you to guess how that went for him.
Okay. It's going to go, hey, I think we should make these starfighters better so we don't just keep blowing up all the time. To which the Imperial Navy went, I understand your complaints. However, access denied.
I understand your complaints. However, I'm going to choose to ignore them.
Your complaints are valid. I hear you. I see you. However, get fucked.
And it's even better. It's even wilder because the pilot, the many pilots themselves actually disregarded this as well. Because while High Command thought there's no reason to put resources into upping our fighter core,
Especially
the
against the Rebel Alliance, who almost exclusively uses better fighters.
the pilots, the actual pilots, were of the mind that the lack of protection was a testament to their skills in combat rather than being viewed as disposable pieces for the Empire.
Fuck off. They made it hard on purpose so that way we know we're the best of the best.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's why you get killed by a farm boy.
That's why you get killed by multiple farm boys.
You get killed by multiple farm boys who killed womp rats in their T-16 fucking transport. Oh! That's like going to a job and being like, oh no, see, they make us work mandatory overtime and don't pay us because it's a testament to how good we are at our jobs.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. So because of that same ideology, that actually serves as probably their biggest purpose. It actually serves as the biggest purpose for pushing the TIE Fighter as their icon craft.
Off.
As a testament to their technological might and also its immense disregard for its soldiers.
We have such good technology, our starfighters don't even have shields.
So a lot of this becomes a lot of that ideology actually does become irrelevant during the time of the Remnant and the short-lived Dark Empire.
Well, yeah, because the guys who are actually fighting understand, as opposed to the desk jockeys who are like, yeah, but they'll be fine.
But the the overall the overall sudden shift to conservative nature for their starfighters uh, kind of showed a bit more during that era, and they would also start to make great use of a craft that we'll talk about later, the TIE D automated starfighters.
Ah, repurposed vulture droids.
No, no. So we'll discuss that one when we get there. But ultimately, the TIE D would actually go on to serve as more of a support role, while the proper fighters would go in as more official attack craft. Um, this during this time, they would also the glorious blue boy himself, Thrawn, would eventually see the shift in nature and the necessity of holding on to as many craft as possible. And so he would actually be one of the first to implement a frame for the TIE Fighter with shield generators.
Yay! Leave it to Thrawn to be the coolest dude.
Of course. Um, that's more or less the history they've got on the pilots. The main history for canon is pretty much the same. They phased out a bunch of phased out the clones for the pilots. They phased out the clones for the stormtroopers. Pretty much same nature. Only difference is there's not anything about the other stuff there. But the training, I had to look over the training that they went up to because that was actually the most expansive part of the Imperial pilots. Surprisingly enough, they actually go into a lot of detail regarding their training.
Well, yeah, in order to call yourself the best of the best, which is why we have the shittiest fighters, you probably should be trained really well.
Well, they are definitely worthy of that best of the best title because only an estimated 10% average ever actually graduate to become starfighter pilots.
That's crazy.
So the Empire had many training facilities, but the Starfighter Corps obviously put them through probably the most rigorous psychological and physical training that the standard average that put that standard average so high. Many who didn't succeed would actually go on to serve the Empire in other ways in the Navy, primarily as gunners, crewmen, and other means. The few who would succeed would officially be recognized for their loyalty and be expected to put their loyalty before their morals in large part, willing to lay down their lives in the name of their emperor at a moment's notice. The training for these pilots forced them to basically abandon all sense of humanity and started to drone themselves to rely on the commands of their higher officers and squadron leaders, putting focus on target destruction. Names were replaced with identification numbers, and they would be subjected to the constant reminder of their fighters' fragility, lacking in life support and shields.
Crazy.
Now, the training that they would undergo would put these newfound non-clone pilots under an immensely rigorous screening and selection process. After said process, they would go through to one of the various training flight schools, and these would be various different places, asteroid bases, different planets, even being put on some capital ships and cruisers. These would all change out, and they would spend 1 year at these flight schools. During that time, they would be assigned a partner and learn to operate as a team, necessitating hours of flight drills. The pilots would also have to suffer through live combat missions at times, pushing them even further than before, and risking their lives even more, becoming even before becoming fully fledged pilots. Those that did survive that whole ordeal would get closer to recommendations into the Starfighter Corps.
Oh my God. So, hey, guys, you're going to actually kill each other. It's not a blood sport, we promise.
Oh
And
no!
if you survive, you
Oh no! No! No!
you get a recommendation for a chance.
So it's not a matter of killing each other. They literally got put into live combat missions. Like, these were not trained simulations where they pit pilots against each other. This was straight up, they got thrown into, like, you have to go deal with some pirate fighters. You have to go deal with
Oh,
some pirates. You have to go deal with a group of rebels that showed up. Rebels are attacking the base. Go deal with it.
so wait, is that why the rebels have such a high kill count when it comes to TIE fighters? Is because they're just shooting newbies?
Probably.
Oh no!
Um, But even despite that, the training was markedly intense and put the challenges both strategically and high speed related. Um, TIE Fighter TIE pilots were actively kept in a state of emotional instability and mental and physical insecurity. While this was believed to be a means of making them more efficient, it would actually carry the opposite effect.
Who'd have thought traumatizing your pilots would be a bad thing?
While ending up more close knit as a unit and sticking to spending time with other pilots, they would find troubles outside these groups, and while this was viewed as a worthwhile trade off by Imperial higher ups, this developed problems with rivalries sprouting between ground support wings and the naval branch of pilots. This
Understandable.
actually spawned the two nicknames that they were given: Vackheads and Groundhogs.
So they nicknamed each other bad nicknames. That makes more sense.
Yeah. And this would actually, these rivalries and problems between the two branches actually add cantina odors, forcefully separate them into two separate areas. Like, cantina owners would actually have to actively split the ground support wings and the army branch and the navy branch for pilots.
That's fucking wild.
Just imagine you go into the cantina and the army guys show up, and all of a sudden the cantina owner is like, "All right, y'all know the drill. You guys on that side. You guys on that side.
In the blue corner, ground support. In the red corner, the Navy. They have their fucking coaches back there. All right. Once the cantina owner's looking away, go over there and just sucker punch that fucker.
Take a pot shot at him. Whip out
Shoot
your pistol.
first, ask questions never. Oh my god.
I want you to go tell that one dude who's sitting at the bar that the army dude told him his mother is dumb.
I need you to go over there and tell that guy we don't like droids.
Oh. Yeah, that's stupid. The actual the actual feeling behind what the TIE pilots went through, being at the control of a TIE pod, being in that fucking
hold on. Say that part again.
being in the pod of a TIE.
TIE pod. Okay, I heard
TIE
Tide pod, and I went, "Oh my god, it's here too! Oh fuck!"
I mean,
Pilots out there just eating Tide pods.
with the casualty rate for pilots, that's probably not far. They probably got their fucking suicide. Probably got their own suicide patch in there.
Oh, that's rough.
But when piloting these, the pilots had foot-operated controls for the yoke, and control rods that they had held tightly gripped, with their bodies strapped into a shock couch and crash webbing, thus putting a very claustrophobic sensation on the pilots, though the best pilots viewed this as the best view in the galaxy.
So essentially, they just strap them down with weighted blankets.
More like they quite literally put weighted padding all over them.
Yeah.
And they had to sit in basically a cramped flight seat.
Hey, I know plenty of people who would love to just be covered in weighted blankets all the time.
Yeah.
They'd make good TIE fighter pilots.
So in some cases, the pilots also had simulations that often had 4 training operations for different vehicles. Or for each vehicle, rather. So each pilot would go through various different training simulations, and depending on how many they actually completed, they would actually earn a medal for completion. For pilots who actually finished half the sessions, they would earn a bronze medal. A silver medal would give them the showing that they cleared 3/4 of these 3/4 of the training operations, and gold for those who actually cleared every single one.
I'm giving you a gold star in your sticker book. You did the best job.
And these sims were generally using old battle recordings. One of the canon cases of this one actually comes from the Rebels series, where we see Sabine and Wedge flying a sim mission in TIE fighters from a mission that was actually recently undergone when they were in the Sky Strike Academy, which actually is one of the most elite academies in Star Wars canon.
I totally forgot that they were TIE fighter pilots.
Huh?
I totally forgot they were TIE fighter pilots to begin with.
Well, no, Wedge originally started as a TIE pilot in canon. Like he went through to try to go through the training for that, but Sabine went in posing as one and pulled him out. That's how Wedge actually joins the rebellion in canon.
Yeah.
Which, whenever we actually get to talk about Wedge, which will be a storied adventure, I assure you.
Oh, dude, Wedge is my favorite. One of my favorite.
One of the favorites.
He's so cool.
Um, but after, but there's another little award for these training missions that for 5 laps of these, the pilots would actually earn a training patch for the attack craft that they tested with. Would actually earn themselves a commemorative patch for the attack craft that they proceeded to perform all 5 laps of this. The last bit of this that shows some of the training side of this is that flights of these ties were eventually established in flights flying in formations of 5 with and with an if the leader was down first, it actually tended to become well, now you understand why the ties end up scattering when the leader ends up going out.
Well, yeah. That's how some
Because
actual militaries used to work. Like you were trained to follow your leader, and if
yep.
they went down, your standing orders were to huddle in place and wait for commands.
Yeah, in this case they actually end up scattering.
I mean, that's the same thing as huddle in place. It's
It's just the airborne
protect
version.
yourself as much as possible.
It's just the airborne version.
Yeah.
Because huddling in place of the air, holding formation in the air when your leader goes out is probably a good way to get the rest of you shot up.
Oh, absolutely. When you're on the ground, you're like, no, huddle in place, fortify your area. That's cool. If you're in the sky and you're just hovering, like, we don't know what to do. Oh, no, don't do that.
So this actually comes with the pilot's heavy, and I mean damn near coded in a reliance on having to follow orders. The Empire drilled that. Remember how I said the Empire basically droned their pilots into making them compliant with any order? Yeah, compliance with any order ended up being we have to wait for our commander to tell us anything to do.
Yeah.
That's why that's another reason why the rebels perform a little better in space in a starfighter combat is that they have a much higher autonomy than any standard imperial pilot. Only the more recognized and better prepared pilots are among those who actually hold that autonomy. And speaking of those who are of the best, the most exceptional pilots actually would get the commemorative offer of becoming cruise missile troopers, able to pilot cruise missile assault craft that were the spearhead craft for naval operations against rebel outposts.
Okay, you had me so worried. I thought they were piloting cruise missiles.
Now,
Just
these were,
good old fashioned kamikaze pilots.
these were, the cruise missile troopers were basically set up. These were basically the big missile boat craft that the naval ops would throw to heavily attack rebel bases.
Nice.
But duties aside, on going from training onto what their actual duties ended up being, uh, standard duties actually can. Hang on, throat clogging up. Throat got I need to
Throat
drink.
closing up.
Hmm.
You know you're supposed to drink water, not like whatever it is you just drank that made you go, ah!
I am drinking water.
Oh, this is some spicy water.
But yeah, the duties of TIE fighter pilots usually meant their top priority ended up being mission success over anything else. This including their own personal morals. There, let me speak. And the safety of themselves and their fellow wingmen. total disregard for pilot safety was put first and foremost in their mind, which is the other reason why they attribute the name coffin jockeys.
Mm.
TIE fighters were serving as expendable escorts, defenders for transports, bases, and stations, and smaller portions of their duties, which included patrolling sectors and even aiding ground support roles, as well as escorting bombers and transports, like mentioned before. The actual equipment that they are given. So obviously they're adorned in their their shiny black uniforms, which actually compose a energy shielded fabric. The also have a set of grav pressure boots and life support chest piece, which allows them to breathe because the TIE fighter has no life support.
Hold on, wait. So the the uniform they're wearing has a shield, but the ship they're flying doesn't.
Yes.
That is so fucking backwards. Holy shit.
Yep. Obviously, their helmets had comms equipment built in, and the actual oxygen tanks that the life support systems would pull from actually got stored in the back plate of their armor.
Why?
That is
Why
how
would
they
you
were
do
designed.
everything backwards?
Because it's the Empire.
Who sat there and was like, this is perfect? Like, that.
Yep, that's just how it is. That is
I
just.
blame George Lucas. I blame George Lucas because he doesn't understand.
What you want to know? What's even more backwards? Because of the low survival rate, and odds of being able to crash land the TIE successfully, pilots were rarely given crash survival emergency kits.
What do you expect us to starve? No,
Yes.
TIE fighter pilot, we expect you to die. Oh no.
And while they usually were only carrying a pistol, usually ceremonial ones, they would also have a range of weapons training, which included, but is not limited to, the Stormtrooper's E11 blaster rifle, the SE-14R light repeating blaster, the V6D mortar launcher, as well as the TB-47 time bombs, specially made for sabotage missions, and the F-187 fusion cutter.
I love the idea. They're like, hey, we have pilots. They're very expendable. They spend a lot of time in space. Let's give them a grenade launcher. So that way, when their ship inevitably fails, they pop the hatch. It doesn't matter if it's pressurized or not because there's no life support system, and they just start shooting grenades into space.
Thump, thump, thump,
Oh, it's so dumb.
Yeah. Though on the odd note, in the rare cases, while most of the standard armor was meant to be, well, the Empire did not really approve of a personalization to their armors. The few elite pilots were actually able to customize their armors a bit mainly for those of higher officer status, elite squadron members, squadron leaders, and flight barons.
Okay.
But that pretty much covers the pilots themselves. Now we can actually touch on the Starfighter Corps, which, as established before, they're the Starfighter branch. They're the branch for the pilots in the Imperial Navy. They share a link to the Imperial Army, sending pilots for ground support and defense. They actually did put in the technical organization for imperial squadrons. So here is how uh, groups of ties were organized. You had an element, which consisted of 2 fighters, usually a leader and a wingmate.
Mm-hmm.
You had a flight, which consisted of 3 starfighters, or 4 in 2 elements. You had a squadron, which consisted of 12 starfighters in 3 or 4 flights. And a full wing, which usually served as the complement of the typical complement of a Imperial Star Destroyer, was 72 starfighters in 2 groups. The ranking of the flight branch went as follows from highest to lowest. Highest ranks were general, colonel, major, commander, and flight captain. From there, the lesser ones were flight lieutenant and flight officer. Pilots in command positions would use personal titles like squadron leader, group captain, and wing commander. And the very few pilots promoted beyond general were promoted into the line branch of the Navy at the rank of vice admiral. Although they would generally retain honorific branch titles of air marshal, or a more notable rank was given to them, that being the flight baron. This was actually one of the few special status ranks that pilots would earn, and usually this was denoted by those flight barons were usually denoted by those adorning their armor with red streaks, marking them as special amongst their other against the other pilots. Usually, flight barons were the only ones allowed to personalize their armor with these colored streaks.
Imagine being a vice admiral and still only piloting a TIE fighter.
I mean, it do be like that.
That's rough.
But we can actually, but seeing as we've managed to breeze through all of that, now we have the actual lines of TIE fighters to go through.
Yeah!
This one is probably going to be the more expansive list.
That's fine.
So,
They're cooler anyway.
obviously, shouldn't have to go over the main 3. We know what the TIE fighter, the TIE interceptor, and the TIE bomber are.
Yes.
But there are some unique ones of the basic lineup. There is the TIE GT bomber, there's the TIE GT bomber, and there's the TIE FC starfighter. So the TIE GT bomber actually is a bomber variant. That uses the TIE fighter's frame. It builds off the standard TIE fighter frame and equips it with various concussion missiles and proton torpedoes, serving more of a strictly orbital light bomber role.
Cool.
The TIE FC, which is also known as the TIE Fire Control Starfighter, is not a combat fighter pretty much in any sense. The Fire Control Starfighter is actually considered basically a targeting system. Is effectively a radar designator and scanner for Imperial fighter craft, as well as big guns for the Navy. These were actually used to target rebel bases and scan them out, so the Navy could mark targets to hit. They would go to
Isn't that what they
planets.
did on Hoth?
No, because the Empire didn't actually bomb the piss out of Hoth.
They should have.
They honestly should have. Like, that
It's
would have served a much quicker operation.
There's no strategic value in capturing Hoth. They should have just bombed it.
I think their goal was to try to capture the rebel leadership and specifically Luke, but
who needs to capture
again,
them when you can just kill them?
Then again, by the time they got there, it's another one of the flaws of Star Wars. Here's the things that don't make sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here's the things that don't make sense when you put more thought on them.
As a movie, cool scene, best movie, the best one.
One of the
However, when you
one
think
of the
about it,
better early ground invasion scenes.
yep, just don't think about it too hard.
Don't think about it too hard.
What are you
So
doing over there? Stop thinking about it.
no, but I'm gonna keep thinking about it.
I'm gonna keep thinking.
It's not in your parameter, pilot.
Imagine the pilot just flying around me like, why don't we just bomb them? And they immediately get a gun turned on them. Say it again. No, I'm okay. It's fine.
That's probably a thing that would have happened. Is the craziest part.
Don't question your superiors. But what if they're dumb? Any other questions?
Go full commissar on him.
I mean, they had to at some point, right? With all the defectors, they had to at some point be like, nah. The second anyone runs, just gun them down.
Yeah. So, next of the fighters to go over, which is my favorite of the TIE fighters, the TIE Defender.
God, the Defender looks so dumb, though.
It's so dumb, but it's so cool.
Oh. It's just the Interceptor, but what if we added another wing to it?
And we fucking shrunk the wings and inverted them.
What if we made a TIE fighter smaller backwards and added a wing?
Ironically, it was their most effective fucking fighter.
Which is so dumb!
What's even worse is it's also one of the few TIE fighters to be equipped with both a hyperdrive and a shield generator with life support.
Yeah, it was their answer to the Rebels.
It was
everything had life support and hyperdrives and shields.
What's also fucked about this thing is it could field a tractor beam generator.
Get the fuck out.
Nope, that is a confirmed thing. This was a thing that it could be equipped with. It had the capability to utilize a tractor beam generator.
That's so dumb. I mean, it makes sense, I guess, but at the same time, like, why?
Because we want to lock it in place. We want to lock it in place so we can shoot it to death.
Because they can't aim otherwise.
That, or we want to capture the motherfucker inside.
Guess. Like, I guess it was because they had hyperdrives. They could operate without a.
They were independent. They were more autonomous fighters, but they were also a
mothership for it.
They were effectively a multi-role support. They were a multi-role superiority fighter, to put it bluntly. That's what the TIE Defender was built for. It was the answer to the Rebels' more advanced and the Rebels' more superior fighter craft. I'm not going to say advanced because, let's be honest, the only advanced fighter they had was the B-Wing.
Yeah, well, I mean, they did steal the X-Wing.
Only because the Empire dumped it somewhere and didn't want it anymore.
That's so what a whoever did that, whoever okayed that, straight to Palpatine. Die.
What's bad is I think it was Tarkin who did it.
Oh, fuck off, Tarkin.
I think it may have been Tarkin who actually denied it.
God,
because it was too costly to produce.
Yeah, so then the Rebels just had a bunch of them because it was too costly to produce.
And not only were they the ones fielding them, Incom ended up switching sides and became a main supporter of the Rebels.
Well, yeah, imagine you do this for the Empire. You spend, millions, if not like millions of credits to prototype a fighter for the Empire. And you're like, cool. Oh, cool. We like it. It's really cool.
How much does it cost?
Though.
How much does it cost? Oh, well, we estimated our numbers as this, and this. Oh, I see. Sinar, what you got?
Yeah. And then it's like, oh, fine, Empire, you want to fuck us? We'll fuck you. Hey, poor dudes, use this. Use
Yo.
this to kill as many Empire as you can. Just go for it.
Yo, we've got a fighter. We've got a couple fighters thrown away in a depot that the Empire doesn't want. You are welcome to take them so long as you've got pilots who can fly them.
Take them, do crimes.
Go forth and commit crimes. Commit many crimes.
Literally, they just hand, like, it's that fucking image. They just hand them instead of a gun. It's just a full ship. Take this, do crimes. Oh, God damn it.
Speaking of the X-Wing, though, let's get into our next fighter, the TIE Hunter. Basically, the Empire's X-Wing.
I'm trying to remember what this one was.
So I'm gonna grab
the folding wings, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
I was just about to fucking grab the image for it.
Post it anyway. I want to make sure I got this right. I want to see it in all of its dumb glory. Oh, hey, we didn't like the X-Wing because it cost too much. What if we just made a worse version of it and still gave it foldy wings? It's like the X-Wing. If you squint real hard.
It's actually closer to a TIE Interceptor if you look at it.
Yeah. Except they just they put the wings on the opposite sides.
Yep.
And made them foldy.
Yep.
It's so dumb. It's so dumb. I love it to death. It's so dumb.
There are many TIE... Remember what I said, there's going to be many TIE Fighter designs like this. Get ready, this one's not even the dumbest.
It's really cool. Like, in concept, it's really cool. It looks really cool. But the fact that they're like, we have X-Wings at home bothers the fuck out of me.
Mm-hmm. So, here's another one that... So, this one actually has... The TIE Hunter actually has a very specific pilot line. Because this one is only used by the Storm Commandos.
Oh.
Only the Storm Commandos are allowed to use the TIE Hunter.
And then imagine you still consider them expendable.
Mm.
And the Empire did everything wrong.
They did everything wrong. It's the exact meme of Magnus did everything wrong. He did everything. Magnus did nothing wrong. He did nothing, and he did it wrong.
Yes.
It's the exact meme.
God, that sucks.
Yeah, what's wilder is this one also, like the TIE Defender, was actually capable of hyperspace and had a shield system. So it basically was the Empire's X-Wing. The difference is it was not widely used like the X-Wing was.
Imagine if the Empire used its money and its brains.
Instead of using one or the other.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Wild. Couldn't be me. Well, we can look at probably one of the... I don't know how you feel about this one, but we can look at the next prospect on this list, which may be an example of the Empire's brains and money being put to use. The TIE Phantom.
Yo, okay, here's the thing. I love the Phantom. Sure, it looks stupid. I love the Phantom.
The Phantom is, for being the Empire's stealth craft, for being a stealth interceptor, this thing is dope. This thing does its role as a stealth interceptor and infiltrator craft amazingly. And the fact that it has a self-destruct button to avoid captures is wild.
Yeah.
Like, they built this thing, and the rebels tried to take this thing. They actually tried to take the TIE Phantom from a shipyard where they were being produced. And when they tried to fly off with it, the admiral who was running the whole project hit a button and caused the self-destruct mechanism to proc, killing the entire squadron.
Yeah. It's almost like they expected the rebels to steal their shit, like they always do.
Mm-hmm.
They should have put self-destructs on fucking everything, honestly.
Honestly, I mean, they're throwaway. They consider their shit throwaway. I don't know why they didn't.
Yeah.
The next one in our line is the TIE Avenger, which is basically, man, I'm pretty sure you would recognize this one because this one is actually one from Galaxies.
And I miss Galaxy.
We all do. So this is the TIE Avenger.
Also dope.
Mm-hmm. This one, unironically, actually builds off the frame of the TIE Advance, which is the same frame that Vader's starfighter was built from.
Yeah.
Which I think was wild, that this was basically on the line of the TIE Advance fighters.
God, they're so cool.
Well, we go from one cool one to possibly one of the stupider ones. I don't know how you feel about this one, but
Ooh, what do we got? What do we got?
the next one up is the TIE Aggressor. Another one from Galaxies, ironically enough.
Cool name. Cool name. Oh my god, wait, is it the one I think it is? Oh, it is. Ugh. Ugh. Oh no. Oh no.
I
Look
told
how they
you.
massacred my boy. It might as well be an ugly at that point. Jesus Christ.
It is an ugly fucking thing.
Oh. Here's the thing, right? If they flipped the wings around, it probably would have looked way better.
Yeah. Yeah.
I understand why they did the wings that, because it has a longer body, but like, put the points forward. It's the aggressor. It should be pointy towards the front.
So
That
if
looks
you
more
actually,
like a fucking shield, thing than an aggressor.
which I mean, I guess is kind of which I guess makes some sense, especially since this thing actually has a tail gun on the back.
Yeah, that part's cool.
So I guess it's partly there to protect the tail gun more than anything.
Ugh, it still looks dumb.
It is dumb.
Cool idea. The ship is cool in concept, and you look at it and you go, oh.
Well, speaking of dumb fighters, you ready to
Oh.
see Zinja's signature fighter?
Oh my god, wait, is it? Yup! Oh, that is the worst one! Oh no!
The
I was
Raptor, baby!
I'm like, Zinj, I think I remember that. Who was like, oh, you know what's really cool? If we just had the ball with little stubby wing guns. Who needs the cool part of the tie, like the panels? No. Just fucking give it little tiny nubby guns and just keep the ball.
Let's make
that
it even.
Thing looks worse than the MS ball from fucking Gundam.
So I actually just saw this one. So this is actually one that somebody made a like fan rendered edition of what the Mark II version of this could look like. Check this out.
Oh please! So that looks cool.
Yep. It
that
looks like a better. It looks like a better TIE Defender.
Oh my god! Looking at the dude, the wrapper looks like such dog shit.
It is a bad fucking crap.
Why are the fans better?
Because the fans know what they want.
Oh man.
The fans know full well what they want.
It's the same design, just bigger wings. That's all you needed.
What's even worse is we can't shit on this one for a canon perspective because this is a Legends thing, baby.
I know. That's so bad. Hey. Even Legends
has its own fuck ups.
It's got some real bad stuff,
dude.
Sometimes.
I'm telling you, when we get through when we get to an episode where we actually make a comparison of the sequels and Dark Empire, we are going to have a fucking field day.
Oh, I can't wait because they both have just such bad shit in it.
It's so bad.
Oh, it's gonna be so tasty.
2 separate stories of, and then Palpatine returned.
Why is it so bad?
Just has to be, man. It just has to
Oh,
be. Well, we can move away from a shitty fighter to a better one. Well, I don't know how you feel about this one, but I actually love this one.
you can't see my fingers, but I'm doing air quotes at better.
Next is the Scimitar Assault Bomber.
Should have made the wings longer.
Yeah.
TIE
So
fighters are only cool if the wings cover the cockpit too.
they're only cool if they cover the cockpit too. Is
Yeah,
that our logic?
if they extend past the ball section, if the wings extend further than the balls, it's cooler. No one wants a chode ship.
It's funny you say that because I do actually like this one, but looking at it now, it gives me a lot of the vibe of why I liked the YT-2000.
Here's the thing. This design is cool if the cockpit wasn't still just the ball, just a longer version of it.
Yeah.
If it had like actual cockpit like around the sides so you could still see what's going on around you, that'd be fine. Why would you stick the cockpit so
Actually,
far out and still blind yourself?
It does, actually.
Is that what those black lines are?
Yeah.
Oh, that still looks bad. You should have just made full fucking panels.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, if I cover up the cockpit section, that ship looks dope.
Well,
So that's a bomber.
that is the Scimitar Assault Bomber, which is actually a notable craft from the Heir to the Empire trilogy. Because Thrawn made very great use of this one.
Well, Thrawn made great use of everything.
That
was kind of his shtick.
Was kind of his thing.
Except for the one thing he didn't make great use of.
Which was the Nogarai.
Which was what killed him in the end. Oh, man. If he just did that one thing better, he would have been unstoppable.
Absolutely. No questions asked on that one. So we're gonna move on to the next one. Okay. Introducing the TIE Droid.
They should have just done that to begin with, honestly.
Yeah, you would have thought
if you're gonna make expendable craft, why do they need to have pilots?
Because we have to remember that we're coming off the back of the Clone Wars, and the droids were the big enemies, and we beat the droids. We have to make sure that the droids are. We have to show that we are not supportive of the droid army and their ways. So we are committing to everybody gets a chance to blow up and die.
Imagine playing both sides of the war, i.e. Palpatine, and then fucking himself so hard over the use of droids.
You wanna know what's even worse? He still uses the droids.
Of course he does!
There's an entire segment of the Empire that uses old Separatist droids.
Yeah. Because why wouldn't you? They're there. Just the droids themselves aren't bad.
And we also have to remember that the most effective soldier that the Empire ever put out is the Dark Trooper.
Which is just a big droid!
It's just a big droid!
Okay. I don't understand in Star Wars why people hate droids. Because
droids are typically
programmed to do stuff.
Droids are typically viewed as property, but we also have to remember that the droids are capable of doing terrible shit. It's the same reason why people fear AI.
Yes, but it all comes down to your programming. You put the little fucking restrictor bolts on droids, and then they won't fucking go crazy and try and kill you, IG-88.
Oh no, it's not even... We don't have... we can't blame all this on IG-88.
HK-47.
Not HK-47. Well, he's part of the problem, but the original HK is the entire reason that the droids are given restraining bolts and are typically viewed lesser than anybody else.
Yeah, because HK started as a droid and went, yeah, but what if I was all droids?
What if I make a rebellion?
What if I
do a revolution?
what if I commit a revolution?
What if I just robot revolution?
You've heard of Bowser Revolution. Get ready for Robot Revolution. You're dead. I'm making Terminators, motherfucker. HK, more like Skynet. Let's go.
So good. It's even funnier considering what 47 becomes, but we'll get to him when we get to him.
He's just the best HK.
It's the best droid. He's not even just the best HK, he's just the best droid.
Any droid that, loves me as much as HK does, but still calls me meatbag, fucking awesome. I want droids to sass me. That's what I want. Who is this sassy droid?
So, here's another one that I think you will recognize, especially since you've played Galaxies and no. So we're backtracking a bit.
Oh, yes.
We're backtracking on our fucking statement about going over the Interceptor.
Oh, it's so good.
It's the best fucking starfighter.
It's so good.
So
you want me to like your ship? Give it a paint job.
Yep.
Just give it a paint job. And I'm like, oh, dude, dope as fuck. Best ship.
Best ship.
Give your ship main character syndrome. I want it.
It is one of the coolest fucking Interceptor designs ever.
Look at these millions of gray and black star. Is that one red? That one's awesome. Put the best pilot in that one.
Yep. And these were, as you know, these are the Emperor's Royal Guard Interceptors.
Yeah.
These are the TIE Royal Guard Interceptors.
Imagine
what's even cooler
Guard
about
still called a coffin jockey.
So these ones actually received a slightly heavier armor than what the standard Interceptor had, which basically put them on the frame of a starfighter.
Yeah.
The other part that made them special, the other part of their design that actually gave them some speciality, aside from the obvious red glow up, is that they have a array of smaller wing struts on the side, which denote them as a special variant of Interceptor.
They got fancy little nubbins.
These are also shielded and have a hyperdrive.
Yeah, like all of those ships should have had.
Mm-hmm. These, unlike the standard Interceptor as well, these were also capable of firing off concussion missiles.
You know what? I'm going to have a hot take here. The only TIE that shouldn't have shields and hyperdrives, who shouldn't have hyperdrives, are the standard TIE fighters.
Mm-hmm.
All of them should have had shields.
Yep.
I mean, you put shields on fucking everything. You have personal shield belts. You can't fit one for a ship because it's too expensive. Angry. I'm angry. I'm angry at elves.
I'm angry at elves.
Oh. I'm the Pelennor White Strake of fucking TIE fighters.
So, we get the next one of these, which deserves no introduction, as we've already mentioned it already, but the next one up is Vader's TIE Advanced X1.
That's a cool design.
Very simple design, too. Simple, it's slim, and it's cool.
It's an elegant weapon for a more elegant age.
Well, guess what? Times have changed.
The deal has changed, Brad. Do not alter it further.
Had to hit with the Republic Commando quote there.
Yup. All I'm
Um,
thinking about is war never changes, and then you just show this fucking ship.
oh, hey, you wanna
Oh.
see a TIE Advance design that kind of backtracks a bit?
Yeah.
Here is the TIE Advanced V1.
Oh. Oh. I don't like it. It's so smooth.
So this is actually a cannon ship. This is the actual first introduction of a cannon-only starfighter.
Oh, it's so smooth. I don't like it.
So the TIE
My tie
the
balls need to be rougher than that.
the TIE Advanced
We shaved my
V1,
boy.
the TIE Advanced V1 is it was actually a craft specially designed on Lothal in partnership with Sinar Fleet Systems, and was fielded by high-ranking officers and the Inquisitors.
You're telling me Yuri Lowenthal shaved my balls? Oh, man. I swear I have ADD. My brain just goes to weird fucking places.
Bro, I'm right there with you.
Oh, it's rough.
Oh. Speaking of another cannon-only TIE fighter,
Oh, yeah?
let's get into the TIE Brute.
That looks dope!
So this is did you watch Solo?
Yes.
You remember the one that flew from the Star Destroyer that had the strut off on the side? Had the little ball on the side? That's this thing.
Yeah. Oh, that thing's so cool.
The
Doesn't
TIE
that ball rotate?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, I fucking love that thing. It's so cool.
The ball on the side not only rotates, but it is operated by a second crewman.
Yeah. So now you have two buddies in a coffin. Two buddies sharing a coffin 5 feet apart because they ain't gay.
Yes. This thing actually had some serious firepower, unlike standard TIE fighters, because while it had the obvious two laser cannons, this thing had basically a pair of what I'm considering were heavy laser cannons on the side there.
Yeah.
There was a pair of heavy laser cannons off on the side there. And that thing was, despite its confusing little bit there, it is actually one of the better utilized fighters as a basically support hitter.
Yeah. It's dope.
Heavier hitting TIE fighter. Basically the best way to put the TIE Brutes.
Give me a heavy TIE fighter.
Now to look back on stupid designs.
Oh, yay!
Introducing the TIE Bizarro.
Is it really called the TIE Bizarro?
So that's the nickname that it earned, but the actual name for it is the TIE Experimental M1.
Yeah, it should stay in experimental stages.
Well, it didn't really
It needs to cook longer.
So apparently this one actually was featured in the X-Wing Alliance game, unless I'm mistaken. This one was in the X-Wing Alliance video game.
That sounds familiar. It still needs more time to cook.
Still needs more time to cook.
Someone took it out of the oven too early. It's still all messed up. Put it back in. Why would you do that? Why would you like, yes, let's put a ball on each side and put the wings in the middle?
Yep. So here's another dumb one. This is the TIE Heavy Bomber.
That one's not nearly as dumb.
Still dumb.
It's still not great.
But
it's not nearly as dumb.
This one actually has an alternate variant which did not get mentioned, and I'm upset by that.
Oh, yeah?
The TIE, I think it's the TIE Oppressor is the one I'm thinking of.
What a cool name.
Did I put it on the list?
Although
Maybe a different.
If you're like,
it may be a different one. It may have a different one, but this is so that's the image that is commonly known because it's the one that comes from the It's the image source that comes from the Galactic Battlegrounds video game.
Yeah. So,
Here is the one that I'm more commonly associated with.
that one's fucking awesome. Okay, so real quick. It's called the Oppressor.
I don't think it's the Oppressor. I think it's a Punisher, TIE Punisher.
Punisher. Okay, that's not as bad.
Is the TIE
I'm
Punisher.
thinking
The
like
Oppressor is a
the
different
PR
one, and we will get
guys who are out there being like, yes, today the Glorious Empire is releasing its newest design for its bomber called the Oppressor, and people are like, yo, kind of hitting it on the nose there, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
We're all, oppressed.
Oh hey, you want to? Oh hey Jake, we're still on stupid designs.
Oh yeah, give me another one.
So this, I'm gonna actually get the better looking. That's from
help! I'm being oppressed.
That's better render. So this is the TIE Vanguard.
But why though?
Yep.
But why though?
Yeah.
Why would you just bend the wings a little bit? That thing looks like it's been in an accident, and that's why it looks that way. Like it went in to like dock inside the ship and just gunned a little too far up and just bent the wings out.
So this is actually the TIE Vanguard is a variant of the TIE Reconnaissance Craft, which we will get to at some point, which we will get to soon. But this is supposed to be a short range ship based. It was a short range ship based on the TIE Fighter, the actual TIE Starfighter design.
Yeah, it sure didn't change a whole lot, did they?
Not really, no. The physical difference between them is that they have several large antennae connected to sensor arrays and communications equipment protruded from the cockpit ball, and the upper section of each quadanium alloy solar ionization panel, that's a mouthful, was shortened and swept outwards to reduce interference with the dorsal scanners.
I don't. Why wouldn't you just put the scanners on the wing?
Because the wings are where you power the ship.
Yeah, not from the fucking middle section of the wing.
It's just dumb.
See, that should have been the Raptor.
That
Just a ball with an antenna on it. Just, here you go. Here you have little stubby wings for power. There you go. Enjoy.
But and the next one on our list, let's see. So the next one on our list is kind of an odd one. Kind of reminiscing back on our TIE Advanced frames. We get to the TIE Sentinel.
See, that one looks way cooler.
Mm-hmm.
Because the wings go all the way.
It's like a better version of the Aggressor.
Yeah. Also, hold on. So, rotary cannon on the back.
Yep. Rotary cannon underneath.
Cannon on the front. Oh,
yep.
That's so good. Ooh. There is something about belly gunners on ships that just like, that's a cool ship. I'd hate to be there.
There's a reason the K-Wing is. There's a reason the K-Wing exists. Yeah, this thing is a bit weird. It gets
I dig it though.
It very much shares that similarity to the various TIE Advanced frames because of the body on it.
Yep. I dig it though. That one's cool.
So now we can actually talk about that earlier, the TIE Reconnaissance Craft that we were mentioning before.
Is that the one I think it is? Isn't that one in Empire at War?
Yep. That is the TIE Scout. Here we go.
Yeah, I hate it.
It's dumb.
I hate it. It's like a brick with wings.
It's a brick with wings.
But here's the cool part. The wings go all the way up.
Yep.
Too bad it goes up way too far because the top of it looks like a castle.
Yep. So jumping into another canon only one, let's
Ooh.
introduce the TIE Reaper.
That looks sick. Hold on. That looks like the is it the warrior ship from
The Fury.
SWTOR?
The Fury?
Yeah.
Yeah. It very
Yeah.
much, it does hold some similarity there, that's for sure.
I like that design. It's cool.
So that is actually, so the TIE Reaper, or the TIE Reaper Attack Lander, is a new canon ship that, unless I'm mistaken at least, was featured originally in the first Jedi game. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order was the first time this was introduced, because this was the craft the Ninth Sister piloted.
That thing is so cool.
This thing is actually capable of serving as a strike craft for ground attack teams. I think this one also got featured in. It did get featured in Rogue One, so it did actually get featured earlier.
Okay.
It was in Rogue One.
God, dude. Rogue One, I want to say, is like, hot take again, probably the second best Star Wars movie.
Mm.
Right after Empire Strikes Back.
It is definitely one of the best, in my opinion.
God, it's so cool.
It is definitely the best of the Disney movies. That's
Yes.
for sure.
I don't even care that they're like, who's Kyle Katarn? Like, I don't even care that they were like, Kyle Katarn doesn't exist right now. That's fine, because everyone else in that movie is so cool.
I mean, it paved the way for the Andor series, which also is one of the best series that Star Wars has put out under their streaming service.
I have a quick question, though. Where did the Boffins die?
That's a good question. Next question. We don't, Jake. You and me have enough knowledge and care about Boffins to sum it up in one word. Silence.
Oh man, Boffins suck.
Boffins are bad. It's all Felea's fault.
It's all his fault. He made me racist against Boffins.
So
Abab, all Boffins are bad.
So here's another wacky little design that I'm sure that you remember you were talking about the wing panels over the cockpit.
Yeah.
Here's the TIE oppressor. Rejecting your fucking claim now, aren't you?
Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing.
I
still kind of like it. They should have shifted. They should have shifted the wings around. Points forward. Points always forward.
Points always forward, huh? That's your claim for that one?
Tell me I'm wrong. If the points are forward, the TIE fighters look cooler.
Yeah, they do.
See? If you were to just rotate all of those wings 180, fucking awesome design. It'd be so cool.
Yeah.
Well, the one on the top is like, why?
So bother? Returning to here's one that's actually not a orbital craft. This one is a ground attack craft. Introducing the Lancet Aerial Artillery.
Isn't that just the bomber?
It is not a bomber. So you remember? So you've played Empire at War, obviously.
Yeah, isn't that just the bomber?
This is the. So this one is not a bomber. It basically could be considered one, but the way it's used is basically I have crazy beam weapon on the front. That's what my little trunk in the front is.
You got chunk in the front.
I have a cannon for a trunk.
Oh no! Now I can't unsee it. So the beam comes out of the front bottom.
Yep, that little canister looking thing on the middle.
Laser penis.
Here's my bottle.
I
Let me
can't.
pour all over you.
I can't unsee it. It's got the balls on both sides. Laser shoots down the middle. Laser penis. I hate it. I hate it so much.
It's pretty bad.
It's the worst thing I think I've ever seen. I do not like it. Take it away.
I'll take it away, but I'm trading it for something probably just as worse.
Don't do that.
Because you want to know what I'm trading it for?
What?
Introducing the tie crawler.
Okay. Here we are. Right? Here we are. This is the crawler is the predecessor to the mauler.
Yep. Because
the mauler, dope as fuck. Just run dudes over.
Which I will go ahead and post it right now because it's.
Oh, you have infantry? No. Bye. I'm running you all over. Who needs repulsor craft where I can crush you with treads?
There's the mauler.
God, they all look so fucking dumb, but they're so effective.
Oh no! See the tie crawler, or the tie tank, as people will commonly refer to it, is actually really bad.
Oh no, absolutely. But like in video games, like Empire at War, dope. If you were to actually look at it, you're like, yeah, cool. It can only shoot forward.
Yep.
It can't rotate it. It can only shoot forward. That's a huge misstep on a tank.
Yep. It's pretty bad.
They look cool though. I'll give them that.
So, next one up is the TIE boarding shuttle, which is basically just a TIE bomber.
That sucks.
It's just a bigger version of the TIE bomber.
That sucks. Why would you need that when you have Lambda shuttles?
Well, because we did also make a TIE shuttle.
Why? Oh, we're the Empire. We don't want to waste any money. Let's waste money on this fucking huge dumb bomber. We already have perfectly serviceable Lambda shuttles. Which I think can hold more.
Yep.
Hello, we are Empire. We hate wasting money. Look at the money we wasted. Look at it with your eyes.
So
we can line up every ship we've ever made, and you can point out the ones that were wastes of money.
So this next one is actually one that comes up as a Legacy era craft.
Okay, I know you've explained this before, but explain it again because I'm dumb.
So
difference between Legacy and Legends.
So Legends is the entire encompassing factor of what Disney threw away as not canon.
Okay, so that's all of the books, the comics, all that cool stuff.
All the books, the comics, most of the video games.
Okay. Then what is Legend or
Legacy is part of Legends, and that is a point in history which I do want to cover in great detail because it was a fun romp going through that.
Okay.
That is the era that takes place roughly 134 years after the Battle of Yavin. Over 100 years after the Vong War ends, we are introduced to a new point in Star Wars history where there's none of our favorite characters. Luke is gone, Leia's gone, Lando's gone, all of them are gone.
Everyone's super dead from old age.
Yes.
Not because dumb shit Disney did. So
that all the main characters are gone, but their legacy has pursued.
Hence legacy. Okay, so that's their children, grandchildren, all that. Okay. That makes sense now.
So the legacy era, which again we will cover in a great long multi-part video.
That's like Darth Krayt era.
That is exactly where he's from.
All right, perfect. Now I get it. Understand.
That is Darth Krayt's era.
Okay. Again, I don't know much about that era other than Darth Krayt is dope.
Darth Krayt is dope, and he will definitely be one of those who gets his own video.
Hell yeah.
So, because the legacy is going to get its own video at some point anyway, but there's a bunch of characters we have to touch on before we can even get to them.
We have to touch those characters. Consensually, of course.
Consensually. Always
Always
consensually.
Consensually touch all those characters.
So, this craft that I'm about to show you is one from the Legacy era. This is the Predator class fighter, which builds off the TIE frame.
Oh. I'm conflicted.
You don't know how you feel on this one.
It's...
You want to like it, but at the same time...
Yeah, it's like, I want to like it because
it's very different.
It reminds me of something. I'm trying to remember what it is. If you flip it sideways, it's a ship I've seen somewhere. If you flip it sideways, what the fuck is that? Oh, it's a Stellaris fucking advanced civilization ship. That's what it is. Oh, dope. Okay. Still not sure if I like it or not.
Conflicted feelings on this one. Understandable. This one is not one of the bigger... This one's the main fighter craft, I think, of the Fel Empire, which we will get to at some point in the future. So...
I want to say it looks cool, but it also looks dumb.
It's the wings. The wings are the reason why.
Well, without the wings, it'd just be the Raptor again.
Which I think is why you're conflicted on it, because you're thinking about it like it's the Raptor.
Okay, hear me out.
Mm-hmm.
What if it had 2 more wings on the top and the bottom doing the same exact thing?
Make it look I would actually think it'd be cool if it did that and the wings were spinning. But that is also just me and the fact I like moving.
What do you mean the wings were spinning?
Like
a propeller blade?
Yeah.
Oh, I would hate that so much. Oh no, it'd just be the ceiling fan tie.
The tie fan.
Oh, I hate it so much.
The tie prop. The tie prop.
They have one in every hangar bay that's always spinning to circulate it. Oh. Okay, but if you were to be able to combine TIE fighters like Voltron, that would definitely be the front, and it would just become a prop plane in space.
Yeah,
that's the really long one that I didn't like. That was that advanced bomber.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of having that long nose, just fucking stick that thing on the front of it and just have it spin.
Yep. So the next one we will actually be getting to is another one that is in relation to our glorious blue boy.
I want his blue babies. I'll say it. I'll say it loud and proud. I'm thirsty for Thrawn.
So you would not be the only one I know who is, by the way.
Dude, oh my god. Thrawn could have pressed me anytime.
So this was a craft developed in combination with the Chiss Ascendancy for the Empire of the Hand.
I was about to say, that looks very Chiss-like. I don't like the cannons that aren't aimed forward.
So I think those are supposed to be the I think those are supposed to be I mean, obviously they're probably going to be able to affix themselves at some point, but I think that one's just the way that render looks, because here's one that actually I think comes from the Essential Guide to Warfare. And those same cannons are pointing forward.
Okay.
So I think it's just that render for that model.
Yeah. Because that first one, that render makes me think that those guns fucking like move along the wings so it can shoot behind itself and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're on tracks, which I think would be cool. But the actual like concept art at the bottom, the second one you posted, is fucking way cooler.
Yeah.
Dude, why do the Chiss ships look awesome?
Because Chiss are just awesome.
God damn it, give me masers. Fuck blasters. I want masers.
So, going back to another canon-only one.
Okay.
So here's a prime example of just stick the wings forward to make the tie cool, I guess.
Oh man,
Once again, I've broken your ideology, haven't I?
it'd be cooler if it had 2 more wings. Because the
Then we
body,
just
the
have the
ball section.
interceptor again.
Hey, what's wrong with that? Interceptor is peak TIE fighter design.
Hell, if you did that, you're basically just doing what the Clawcraft did.
That's
Difference
fine.
is it's just the Reaper's wings.
That's fine. I'm okay with that.
So this is the TIE Striker. And this is actually another one that is a aerial support craft. Also featured originally in Rogue One, by the way.
If the ball wasn't so long, it would have been cooler.
The center pod was not as elongated. If it didn't make it look like a fucking capsule.
They're taking pointers from the squid people and just building tubes.
Tubes. Death tubes. What makes a good ship? Tube.
We build submarines. What are submarines? Tubes. Well, what is a spaceship? Submarine in space.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Build more tubes.
It's big tube.
Big tube. Who cares about if it looks cool or not? Make it big tube. And then put like little fucking bumps all over it.
Well, Jake, how about
the Mon Calamari ships are ridged for her pleasure?
Well, Jake, how about instead of big tube, how about big gun? As we get into the TIE big gun.
Big gun's cool.
It is just a TIE fighter that they put 2 turrets on the side.
Here is peak ship design. Big gun, big engine, tiny pilot seat. Make it go fast, shoot big. Who can the bigger the gun, the better.
Well, we shall see how that performs because next one up is the TIE Warhead.
Also cool. Just strap missiles onto an interceptor. That's fine. Interceptor with missile pods. I'm down.
And I'm just going to speed through these next 2 because these are all part. So all 4 of these ones that I'm showing and are about to show, the 2 I've previously shown and the 2 I'm about to show, are all part of that same TIE experimental line.
Dope.
Here's a dumb one.
Oh, it's tube again.
It's a TIE bomb.
Hold on. TIE bomb?
Yep. It
Not
is
bomber.
just nope. It is
bomb.
a suicide bomb.
I knew it. They have one.
It is straight up a TIE craft that they put a big bomb into to throw at a ship as a kamikaze attack.
Oh, hold on. I need to scroll. What other ship was I talking about that for? Hold on.
We were talking about that during the Royal Guard interceptor? No, the Phantom. We're talking about that one for the Phantom, or we were talking about the self-destruct mechanisms.
No, there was another one where it was you called it like the TIE missile or something like that. Fuck, which one was that? Where I was like, oh my god, they just strapped a dude to a missile for kamikaze, and you went, nah, this is what it's about. But they did it though. They made this. They just strapped a dude to a bomb and launched him at things.
Well, it's not even that they strap a dude to it. It's literally they just throw the thing at the thing.
Oh, there's no dude in it.
No.
Oh, well then it's not a kamikaze fighter if no one dies. That's just ordnance at that point.
Well, here's the last of the dumb little fighters, I think.
It's a TIE fighter cruise missile.
Here's the last of the dumb fighters, I think.
What the fuck is that?
This is the TIE booster. It's got a big booster on the back.
Why?
Because.
Okay, so so that's not a hyperdrive, that's just a booster.
From what I'm understanding, it is just a booster.
So it's not the Jedi Starfighters
no, it's not a hyperspace ring.
Oh my god, what a waste. We made TIE Fighter go very fast. Kill pilot inside with G-forces immediately.
So I'm saving one of these for last because it is just the dumbest one I think I've ever found.
Yes, gimme.
I'm saving it for last because I am
Oh,
gonna run through these next ones,
I'm
and these
so
are
excited for the dumbest one.
so these are all the ones that comprise the. I will say this: these are all the ones that comprise the First Order's Tie Fighters, which
No.
most of them are just here's another Tie Fighter.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna make this.
Disney lacks imagination. Most of the time. Some
Most
stuff
of
is
the
cool.
time.
But like First Order is just like we repainted the TIE Fighter. Look, it's our TIE Fighter now. It still
So
sucks though.
I mean, they did put one that has a hyperdrive on it, and they're both shielded.
From the beginning. That's shit that should have been on there from the beginning.
Should have.
God damn it, Papa Palpatine.
Also, the one. So the first one I posted is the superiority fighter, and the second one I posted is just their standard TIE fighter. I just shared them in the same box there.
Yeah.
So what's the superiority fighter is actually one that, like the Sentinel and the Aggressor, have a tail gun to it. They have a turret. That's the one that has the turret mounted underneath.
That's the one that Finn stole.
Yep, that's the one that Finn and Poe steal. That is also the one that has a hyperdrive on it.
Well, it's a good thing they stole that one, huh?
Yeah. Too bad they crashed it into
a planet. Would have been a really shit escape if they took the one without a hyperdrive.
Too bad they didn't take Too bad they didn't take any of the other ones.
Nah.
Of course, they ended up crashing that one into a planet.
God damn it! I hate sand.
The next one up is the TIE Silencer.
That sounds cool. I'm prepared to be disappointed.
Eh.
I am not disappointed. That thing looks dope as fuck.
So that is Kylo Ren's first personal TIE fighter.
It's just a fat interceptor.
It's a mix of the TIE Advanced and the Interceptor that they just widened.
I'm completely okay with that. That thing's dope. I don't remember Kylo Ren in that at all. Probably because I blocked most of those movies.
It was in The Last Jedi.
Yeah, I blocked most of those movies out of my mind.
He also uses it in the. That is also his fighter in the 2017 Battlefront 2. That is his hero ship in that one, in the Starfighter game mode. The other one.
I totally forgot that had a Starfighter game mode in it.
Yep. It was actually really fun. I actually very much enjoyed it and was always the top of the board when it came up.
God, they should just make a Starfighter game where you just play with Starfighters.
Now let's do the other thing and just make a TIE Interceptor with longer wings. And some red bits.
Yep. Yeah, that is... I feel like that is a flatter interceptor.
So this is the TIE Whisper. The one I just shared is the TIE Whisper.
The Whisper. That's a bad name.
Yep.
The Silencer is cool because that is yes, it silences things. This one's just called the Whisper. Why? Because no one talks about it. It's real quiet. No one talks about it.
So now the last of the First Order TIE fighters, the TIE Dagger.
That is the shittest thing.
It is dumb.
Why? I understand the wings are supposed to be like solar panels to get power. Why would you cover part of the solar panels with another solar panel?
Because the gun is under that second solar panel.
Just put it inside the wings.
Look, like George Lucas, Disney made as many mistakes, if not more.
I want to be a fly in the wall when people are designing spaceships just so I can yell at them.
Well, so this one's not a spaceship, but I hope you appreciate this one all the same. Because this is the dumbest of anything I have showed you.
Oh.
So-
Gimme.
Introducing the TIE Pod Racer.
Oh no! Why? Please tell me that's like a hidden character or something in a video game that was never meant to actually be taken seriously.
That
Please.
is in the official Star Wars Racer video game.
As like
That
a
is-
joke?
Nope.
Why
It was
would you
it
need
was
to
in
make that?
Star Wars Racer Revenge was the
Why-
name of the video game.
And it's not like a hidden character or anything. It's just like
It's just that.
why? Why would you ever need to make that? Why? Why would you ever need to make that?
You want to know what's even dumber?
I'm almost at a loss for words. How dumb that is.
I told you I was saving the dumbest for last.
Oh my god.
Told you
The
I
more
had
I
a
look
dumb
at
one
it, the
in
more
here.
I hate it.
Told you I had a dumb one in here. I didn't lie, did I?
What? Why does it need solar panels? Why is one facing the ground?
Oh, this reaction is everything I could have hoped for this one.
I've gone from being incredulous that this exists to just mad. What? Why front-mounted guns? Why would you allow guns?
Pod racing.
So Bulba cheated! That was his whole thing! But you're like blatantly like, oh no, these are actual guns though. Why?
I
So
guarantee
Bulba
you that
got away with it
because of
he's cheating!
I guarantee you that because of the video game, this exclusively just looks like that because it's a video game. It's just an aesthetic. I don't think they actually even shoot. I think it's purely an aesthetic.
What?
I've done
It's
it to him this time.
Chekhov's gun! If you put a gun on something, it has to shoot! You made Chekhov's pod racer and then fucked it up! Oh man! I feel like I need to go for a walk. Like holy shit!
Oh god! If it makes you feel any better, that's the last of all the fucking TIE variants that exist.
That one should have just stayed non-existent.
I
feel
was
like
gonna
I would have lived
include.
a better life had you not showed me that.
So I did omit one, but it's basically another fucking TIE fighter. So I wasn't gonna bother with it.
Give it to me. I need bleach for my eyes.
So let me grab it.
I need to get this TIE pod racer off the fucking like page. I just ooh. You know what? Post that image 3 times so that way I don't have to see the pod racer anymore. Oh, thank God! All right, we're good. Oh, it's gone. I never have to look at it again.
This is the Outland TIE fighter that was featured in The Mandalorian.
Yeah. Okay, that one looks cool.
It's just another TIE fighter, but they gave it S foils.
Yeah, that's fine.
Also, the landing gear. There is a set of landing gear under the pod.
Okay, real quick. I know TIE fighters they're built that way so you can like stack them really close together, side by side.
Yeah.
So you can fit a lot of them in a hangar.
Yeah.
Why didn't they just make all of them with S foils and then just stack them on top of each other to make more space?
Because that costs too much money to put in an S foil system.
Oh,
that costs extra.
So they don't want to. They don't want to put extra cheese on their fucking pizza. I see.
No, they want the plain pizza. They want the plain cheese pizza.
They want none pizza with left beef.
Yep. With a non-zero cola.
Ugh. Like
and disappearing breadsticks.
Why landing gear?
Because
Hold on, even better question. If
what?
regular TIE fighters don't have landing gear, they just land on their wings, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that means they had to spend more money to make fucking ladders and shit for people to climb into their TIE fighters.
Yep.
You couldn't have invested that into some fucking hinges?
Oh, they got some. They have docking. They have docking clamps that you can mount. That they mount the TIE fighters onto.
But I'm talking like for an actual like if you're using landing gears because you're landing on a planet.
Mm-hmm.
So do those planets have docking clamps?
The planets would not, unless it was at a base. Then no.
Okay, so then they have to invest money for a ladder system.
Yep.
Instead of making a ladder, put hinges on your fucking wings. Unless it's like a collapsible ladder that comes down from the pod, which I
Nope.
guess would make sense. But that would also suck shit having to climb that all the fucking time.
There's not one like that.
Hey, Empire, put me in charge of designing your starfighters. I'll make them ergonomic and look cool. Hire this man. Empire, hire this man.
Empire, hire us. We'll make your starfighters better.
Please.
We'll even look for the most cost-effective options just to appease.
Yeah. I will invent space Boeing. I swear to God. But while cost effective, I'll make sure the fucking doors and windows and planes don't just or wings don't just fly off in mid-flight. I'll be better Boeing. The Better Boeing Bureau.
The Better Boeing Bureau. All right. So that's our run of TIE Fighters and the Imperial Starfighter Corps.
Cool.
How do you feel afterwards?
I'm still reeling from the pod racer. Oh my God. I can no longer scroll up in our conversation. I want you to know this. Everything we've talked about beforehand doesn't exist anymore. You've cursed me with pod racer knowledge, and I don't like it.
I told you, I had the dumbest thing on this list, and I'm saving it for last.
I did not believe you, and that was my mistake.
I gave you the warning, and you chose not to heed it. That is of your own undoing.
Oh, it's so bad. I love dumb shit. I do. I'm a connoisseur of dumb shit.
You are
sometimes though.
You are the dumb. You're the dumb internet expert.
Sometimes though, it causes me great harm.
You are the internet trash expert for a reason, but ultimately, this is the rabbit hole where you come down.
Oh God. Other than that travesty of things, I like it. This is cool. I like TIE Fighters. TIE Fighters dope.
TIE Fighters dope. You even got to see some of the cool designs that Disney put out.
Yeah.
A few that there were, but
hey, other than a couple of the First Order ones, a lot of those were kind of cool.
Yep. So, I do believe that there is a lot of... I want to note that I did not know that... I knew there were a lot of TIE variants. I did not know there were going to be that many, especially when it came to the experimentals.
Yeah.
Experimentals were probably the dumbest thing I ever had to look at.
So, I know, and I know that you know, but people listening might not know. What does TIE stand for?
Oh,
did I put you on the spot? Oh, do I know something you don't know? I know something you don't know. Ha, 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 ha. Don't look it up. I know you're trying. Don't look it up. Take this defeat like a man.
Tactical Tactical Imperial Enforcer, something like that.
Nope, twin ion engine.
Twin ion. Fuck.
They're named that because of their engine. It sucks. It's the worst piece of Star Wars trivia I know.
And that's
Everything else would have been way cooler. No, they're named after the engines they have aboard the ships because they have 2 twin ion engines.
Unless you're the TIE booster.
Yeah, in which case you have that and a fucking like Elon Musk rocket struck to the back of it. Just go fast.
So dumb.
Watch for whiplash.
So
I hope your eWeb netting is okay. If not, I'm going to turn you to paste.
So now comes the fun part. You now have to guess. You now have to take a guess at what the next episode will be. And keep in mind, I've made the remark, this is our first character episode. And everything we've talked about, most of the stuff we've talked about so far, has related to this character.
Have you mentioned this character?
No.
All right, so it's not Biggs or Wedge.
I will give you another hint. It is a character related to Wedge. And I have mentioned the rank this character holds in this video.
Now, you said the name Sabine.
Nope.
It's not Sabine.
Think about the last one we talked. I've talked about Imperial stuff back to back. Keep that in mind.
Okay. Are they a pilot?
Yes.
That does not narrow it down.
I would have actually figured it. I would have figured it would have narrowed it down immensely. Do you want me to go ahead and give it to you?
I don't know enough characters. Because you said Imperial stuff back to back, it's a character, and I'm like, okay. It could be Tarkin, but you said they're a pilot, so it's not Tarkin.
Nope. It's not Tarkin.
So yeah, I've got no clue.
I'm gonna rock you with this one, because if you've read the X-Wing novels or seen the comics, you know who this character is. We are going to be doing.
I haven't done either of those.
And the reveal of the character comes now. Our first character episode on this channel will be around the infamous Imperial Flight Baron of the 181st Sunterfell.
You say that like he's some cool dude. I have no idea who you're talking about.
Dude,
I'm excited to learn.
I will give you a brief bit. This is basically the Empire's Wedge.
Okay, I'm all in.
This is basically the Empire's version of Wedge.
Evil
and it's
Wedge.
even wilder because he's related to Wedge by marriage.
Yeah! Brother-in-law?
Brother-in-law.
Yeah! Oh, it's always the in-laws, dude. The in-laws are always bad.
We will have a very fun episode with this one. For our first character episode, this is the one I thought about, like, I want to give a really, like, under-noticed character, but one that those in the deeper fan base would recognize. Especially for those that if they caught all the notes I've been giving you, I'm relating to ISD, I'm relating to Imperial stuff, I'm relating to TIE fighters and Imperial pilots. Who is the character? Sunterfell is the primest example of the Imperial pilot.
Man, what a Star Wars ass name.
You will come to know this character quite a lot, especially as we get more into the expanded lore.
Hell yeah.
This character is probably the one I am most excited about. What's also funny is he's actually a character that you do one of the fighter storylines for in Galaxies.
Really?
Yep.
See, I didn't get that deep into the fighter storyline in Galaxies. I was always just like, I want to make a creature handle it.
So when you do the Starfighter, I'll probably bring it up again when we actually do the video, but before we cut it off, when you actually play Galaxies and you do these Starfighter storylines for the Empire, if you do the one that starts you on Tatooine, eventually when you go to Yavin 4, you actually get to interact and deal with Sunterfell.
Cool. Now, is that only if you pick the Empire?
It is only if you pick the Empire.
Cool, because they're the better faction.
If you play as the Empire in Galaxies, and you take that Starfighter, you take the fighter storyline and you play it through on you play it through and you do it on Tatooine. If you start on Tatooine, because there's 3 other starts to my knowledge. Because there's one on Tatooine, there's one on Naboo, and I think the other one is
Corellia?
I think it's Corellia.
Because those are the 3 starting planets.
Yeah.
And everyone started on Tatooine.
Everybody starts on Tatooine.
You know where people don't start? Naboo. I've never met anyone in my life who was like, oh yeah, I first started in Naboo. No, it was always like, oh, Tatooine. Or even Corellia for some reason.
Yeah, but I know eventually the stories take you to those other planets.
Well, yeah.
Because you have the whole theme parks with them.
Well, they have to take you to those places, or else the people who made the game just made that for nobody.
Mm.
We put all this effort into Naboo, and no one shows up. This sucks.
What's wild is when you do the Naboo storyline, that's actually how you get the Royal Guard Interceptor.
Oh. Well,
you can actually get the... Because that one, you're basically working directly under Palpatine and Thrawn.
Yeah, I was about to say, that makes absolute sense, because, Big Papa Palpatine is from Naboo.
Yeah. And if you take Telos, I think it's Corellia. I do not remember what Corellia does, but when you do the one for the 181st, when you do the 181st storyline, eventually you'll get to deal with Sunterfell when you go to Yavin.
God, I should get back into Galaxies again.
I'm more than happy to take a swing at it again.
God.
We want to fucking take a dive. We want to take a fucking dive in. I am all for it, because Restoration actually has the new Jedi stuff in finally. So
yeah?
We'll have to take a look at all that, because I haven't seen what all Restoration has done recently. Once the Jedi stuff came out, I've kind of dropped off, but I think that's gonna do it for the episode. We hope you enjoyed, and we hope you are excited for the first character episode next week.
Sunterfell, baby!
Sunterfell! Hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you all Tuesday for 7 Days with Colin Beans. So
it'll be a good time.
Yeah. So hope you all enjoy, and I will see you all in the next one. Freelancer signing off until next time. Good night, everybody.